The Skirball Cultural Center was founded in 1996 as a multifaceted Jewish institution whose mission is to welcome and engage diverse communities. The Skirball Cultural Center has a number of strategic priorities. One of them is to engage a representative audience that looks more like Los Angeles. And part of that in bringing the Maurice Sendak exhibition to the Skirball was to lean into that a little bit, to find an audience that was perhaps a little younger, more diverse, and use the Sendak exhibition to bring them to the Skirball so they could be exposed to everything else that we offer as well.
We have a mix of paid, owned, and earned media that we rely on at the Skirball. We work with local, regional, and niche publications through our paid media, generally through print, digital, and radio, as well as out of home, including city street pole banners. Our owned media, we have a really engaged audience in our e-newsletters. We also do print, mailing, and our website and social media also drive audience attendance.
While the communications and marketing department at the Skirball is really good at promoting exhibitions and the work that we do, we were looking for a little bit of outside expertise and a little bit of extra person power in the form of the Miller Group to reach a broader audience.
When we received the request for proposal, we were super excited. We've got a lot of experience working with museums, and this one was just right up our alley.
We have been tasked with diversifying our audience to kind of, reflect the makeup of Los Angeles, and having an extra set of hands and expertise that we could rely on to help us reach the widest audience possible was really appealing, and that was one of the main reasons why we wanted to work with an agency like the Miller Group.
Our museum team scours the world for interesting exhibitions. Once the museum team decided to bring While Things Are Happening, the art of Maurice Sendak, to the Skirball Cultural Center, again, a whole group of people got together, started talking about what the ideal audience for that exhibition might be, what audiences we wanted to reach out to, who's been exposed to Maurice Sendak, who hasn't been exposed to Maurice Sendak. And from there, we begin to identify marketing tactics, people to reach out to, et cetera.
When we were first brought in, we were tasked with just basically building a media campaign that would bring more patrons into the museum and the cultural center.
When we sent the request for proposals and we were looking to partner with a digital marketing agency, we do a fair amount of marketing in-house. We've done a little bit of this, on an opportunistic basis, whether that's paid search or paid social or paid display advertising. We were really looking to partner with an agency that could help us think more holistically about that approach. And again, I think you all really came in and understood what we were trying to do and added to it, right? I think you all said, we hear you, we know that this is what you have in mind, and with your creativity and your expertise, we're able to say, let's try a couple of different things.
This was a multimedia exhibit of all of Maurice Sendak's work from the time he was a young kid all the way through close to his death.
So many people from many different generations know who he is, are familiar with his work, and have read his books. And I feel like this exhibition definitely kind of hit all those points, reaching a multi-generational audience, one that is more diverse, one that can skew younger. So it definitely was a great fit for this goal of ours.
The creative campaign for the Sendak exhibit consisted of outdoor, TV, and social media.
We have done a little bit of paid search, we've done a little bit of paid display, we've done a little bit of paid social. We were really looking for an outside agency to help us round that out and to take a holistic approach to digital marketing. So the Miller Group brought to us their expertise in this regard and really helped us expand our viewpoint in a lot of ways.
We started the campaign with a creative brief, really looking at who is our target, what are they like demographically, psychographically, what are we trying to communicate, what is the big takeaway. And we knew that we had a very modest budget, so we wanted to do something not just about the campaign, but something that had a concept behind it. What we do normally with clients is, and same thing with Skirball, is we provide 3 different concepts. All 3 are very different. And so the one that was selected was this idea of what it was like before AI. Yeah.
And it was right at that sort of zenith when people were talking about AI, and it really all of a sudden came to the zeitgeist. And your forethought to really sort of tie into that, I think, was inspired. Yeah.
One of them solely focused on where the wild things are, which was a 30-second spot. A second 30-second spot, which was focused on the broad range of the work, because the whole exhibit was all about Sendek's body of work. And then we did one cut down to a 15. And then we used a lot of the assets that were provided and created a series of outdoor boards. And those were zip code targeted. And the TV was also focused on a specific psychographic and geographic area, reaching moms with young children and a young, diverse audience throughout different parts of Los Angeles.
We generally find that our core audience is made up of local people who tend to be in their 60s and older. The area around the Skirball is generally a more affluent neighborhood, so we also find that their socioeconomic levels fairly high, and they identify as white and Jewish.
There are several neighborhoods within Los Angeles that we did want to focus on because of their geographic breakup, and family neighborhoods, Jewish neighborhoods, things like that would be particularly interested in the Skirball and what they have to say. So we went ahead, and one of the things that we did was we used out of home to create little mini pockets where we were able to hit those neighborhoods and without the expense of covering the entire Los Angeles DMA. We also we used cable, which is an area that we don't have to buy all of the television for the entire LA market. We were able to use cable to target certain neighborhoods and vicinity around the Skirball. We first looked at a 10-mile radius around the Skirball as our start, thinking that that would be a safe distance for people to travel. But as the intercept information came through, we also learned that people were traveling much further, and we expanded a lot of our media in the social and in the digital throughout the entire LADMA because people were traveling 20 miles to come see it. It was that important to them.
We get a range of visitors at the Skirball Cultural Center, everything from a kid and family multi-generational audience for Noah's Ark at the Skirball, multi-generational families for our programs. We have school programs, education programs, public programs and classes. Our other permanent exhibition is Visions and Values, Jewish Life from Antiquity to America, which looks at the Jewish American experience, and a number of temporary exhibitions that we rotate on an annual basis.
We also do have a kids and family exhibition called Noah's Ark at the Skirball, and so we do find that we get families with young children as well, and that audience, while similar in demographics, it skews younger and slightly more diverse.
Their most successful all-time exhibit is the Noah's Ark exhibit, which is here, and it has a huge pull with lots of children and interactive play, and it's just, I mean, it's a beautiful exhibit that I actually brought my own daughter to, and we've come with many school outings and all of that, so we knew that that was one thing that does drive a lot of traffic for their museum. With the social elements, we decided to go in and target moms because we were looking at the Noah's Ark audience and we wanted to kind of mirror that. So we looked at moms with children and people who we knew were coming to the Skirball normally, and then we kind of did lookalikes with that audience and we built out from there. And we did run with some social ads that were videos where we had a social influencer type person come in and walk through the museum.
Once upon a time, there was an exhibition on the art of Maurice Sendak. This exhibition takes you to another world where things are wild and your imagination can roam free in the creative mind of the legendary Maurice Sendak. Here you can explore more than 150 sketches, storyboards, paintings, and experience the generational impact Sendak's creations have made. Step into the life and art of Maurice Sendak, now through September 1st, 2024.
We originally were going to use kind of all of different aspects of the museum. There was a Noah's Ark ad, there was a What's Your Favorite Area ad, but we did focus most of our ads we found were the best performing ads we found were the Sendak ads. So we focused on those. As the campaign grew, we found that more and more people were looking at it more than just moms. It was definitely not something that was 100% children oriented. We had with social, we were able to see that, middle-aged men were really interested in the campaign and would engage with the ads. So we decided to focus on them. We took some of our other media and focused it in that direction as well. So we started out looking at about 5 million impressions. When all was said and done with pivots and looking at expanding our reach, we delivered almost 3 times that amount, so almost 15 million impressions overall. So the campaign had a much greater reach than we originally thought that it would.
I think one of the most important aspects was the opportunity to do some one-on-one research, and we did 3 rounds of research with patrons, visitors, donors, to find out deeper things, not just a visitor satisfaction study, to find out what it was about the exhibit, what it was about the museum that they found appealing, to really get a sense of their thoughts about the Skirball, and that helped us develop further ideas for the Skirball long after the campaign was over.
We are sort of in the midst of looking at how we run surveys and how we measure guest satisfaction. And what I appreciate the Miller Group doing is, as part of your service, right, was to say, and let us come in and survey people on the ground intermittently, which is something that we haven't done a lot of. So it was great to get that immediate feedback of, it's still a bit anecdotal, but you're surveying, so you're actually seeing some numbers behind it. You can see that you're drawing people from a wider geographic area or a different age demographic or what have you. Ultimately, we had more than 41,000 people come through our doors during this period. and that's nearly 10 or 11,000 more than the same time last year. There's obviously a variety of factors that go into that, but I think we can definitely say that the Sendak campaign created more awareness, brought more people in the door. Of those 10,000, 11,000 extra visitors, it was almost evenly split between a Noah's Ark audience and a museum audience. So our assumption is that people saw a Sendak commercial or a banner on the street and came to our website to buy tickets for the Sendak exhibition, and they said, oh, and they've got Noah's Ark also, right? So I think, again, a quality campaign, all boats rise. The response to the Sendak exhibition was incredible. We saw multi-generational families walk through. We saw individuals walk through. Very fond memories of his work. And whether it's a parent bringing in a young child, maybe they've read the book to that child, or adults who remember seeing the movie, really we saw it across the board. It really was engaging. People would show up in costume. They would have the Max crown or the Max tail. It was really engaged the audience in a way that we haven't done specifically before.
I just feel like more than hearing something people said, I just saw smiles. I saw just excitement. I definitely saw on social media people just having so much enthusiasm about this exhibition that it was infectious. We often like to have programming that ties into the exhibition. So we had a outdoor screening of Where the Wild Things Are, which is part of our outdoor movies at the Skirball series, and one of our most popular programs is something called Late Night, where we open the doors. Tickets are $10 for general admission, free to our members, and people can explore the exhibition after hours and have a drink, food trucks, DJ. Usually there's a craft related to the exhibition. Oftentimes there's a performance. This time there was a dance group that developed an original dance inspired by Where the Wild Things Are. Our main goal was to just drive attendance and traffic to the Skirball as a whole, kind of using the Sendak exhibition as a driver to just get people in the door. Another one was this idea of diversifying and making our audience a little bit younger. This could also translate into an audience for Noah's Ark. We often find that as kids get older, families age out of Noah's Ark, so this would help kind of nurture that audience as well. And then another one was just to, use intercept research to kind of get a feel for who was coming and understanding why they came and who they are, and reaching people where they are.
Working with an outside agency, we were able to see what our own strengths were, what does our department do well, and what did we really benefit from by working with the Miller Group. Our request for proposals was really about marketing the Skirball as a whole. So when we partnered with the Miller Group, it was really wide open to say which one of these things do you think will get us the biggest bang for our modest budget? And as it happens, I think at most institutions, you never have as much time as you want to plan for and execute a campaign. And given all of that and given all of those constraints, I think we all worked really well together. I appreciate that the Miller Group had a quick sense of who the Skirball is as an institution, our various audiences, and starting with that strong foundation, I think it made the whole process a lot easier. You all are so organized and so well prepared, and you do a lot of marketing. You have a knowledge and a really nice group of people who are on the same page. So that, I think it's really important for museums and for ad agencies to make sure it's a collaborative effort. People leave the Skirball Cultural Center feeling like they've gotten something more out of
their day than they came in with. And it's just such a nice feeling to see kids and their parents and grandparents walking out and feeling very enriched by the experience.